All right. So in these online sessions, one of the most important thing I would like to have is that please switch on your videos. I would like to see the students. Okay. In fact, I will be interacting with only those students who have switched on their videos and showcasing the work. Other students, I will not be able to. Okay. Hello, Riddhika. And then we'll be having separate exercises for the offline and separate exercises for the online. So those who are attending both the sessions will benefit. They'll have double benefit. Number three, for the online sessions, I would recommend that you either do the assignment prior or after the meeting, okay, such that our 3 hours are utilized here for interaction. So interaction in the sense, how the interaction happens is like, for example, you'll be, whatever work that you have done, you'll be showcasing here. And I encourage other students to comment on that work. Okay, so similarly, other students will be commenting on your work. So that way there will be a peer review, and the faculty will be moderating and also giving the relevant tips, tricks at that particular point of time. That is one level of interaction. The second level of interaction is that if you don't have a model with you, you can also draw and showcase your ideas, right? So that way also we can interact. All right, great. So you can unraise your hands, all of you. All right. So because I'm going to ask a question. Um, how many of you are going only for NIFT? Could you please raise your hands? Only NIFT. All right. Okay, that's a good number there. All right. Okay. And others are going for NIFT and also NID, I believe. Right? Okay. Cool. So, um, so let us briefly talk about the NIFT pattern and the NID pattern. All right. Um, anybody is aware of the NIFT pattern? Round 2 NIFT, what happens? Are you aware of that? Manasvi, you can, would you like to share what happens in NIFT exam?
No, sir, I don't really
You're
know.
not aware of it. All right, no problem. Okay. So in NIFT round 2, it's basically a very simple material handling test. They will give you options. Okay, so there will be 3 options generally. You can choose one of the options and attempt. All right. So approximately 2 hours you do the model and another half an hour you do a write-up. Here writing up is very much important. Okay. So in NIFT, the kind of questions generally what we have observed in the past is that number one, they may ask you to create some kind of a trophy. Right? So trophy for maybe Filmfare Awards or maybe Best Politician Award or maybe Best Student of the Year Award, whatever. Trophy is one. Second is design a workspace. Workspace could be like a workspace for a fashion designer, workspace for a tailor, maybe a shoe mender, or maybe a cook or architect or lawyer, etc., etc. All right. Number 3 is they may ask you to create a product. Okay. A product could be like a handbag, or could be like some kind of gadget, or a phone holder, something like that. Okay, in the workspace, they may also ask you to design classrooms, primary classrooms, right? Or like a park, okay, or dog pens, something like that, spaces. Okay, and then objects. So objects, it could be like a maybe a vending machine, or could be like a vending cart, or a mobile primary school, right? Something like that. Okay. And there could be an abstract question as well. So abstract in the sense, okay, depict some emotion through your model, or send a message to the public, etc., through your 3D model, mural, and all of that, right? So these are the variety of questions that you get. And then they give you a lot of materials. All right. So a lot of materials. I mean, fewer numbers. Or let's say they are giving you straw, pins, and maybe color sheets, or cloth. Let's say if they're giving you straws, they give you 3, 4 straws, and pins, or 3, 4 pins. But if you see the total variety of numbers, they'll be like 10 to 12. Good number, right? In contrast, for NID, they would go give only like 2, 3 materials maximum 5, let us say, but minimal material. So that's the difference. Okay. Um, okay. So there is a question here, sir. When they ask us to create an object, is just a direct recreation, or do we have to adjust it for a use? Yeah, I mean it will be a contextual kind of question. Okay. Not they will not say, okay, just design some object. It will be like, okay, design a cart for some particular purpose, maybe design a workspace for a dentist, um, or a trophy for a sports event. So they'll give a context as well, so you have to do contextually. Okay, right. Now, as I said, they give you good variety of materials, and it is important that you use all those materials in your model. Okay, not forget using few of the materials or not using all the materials. It's a big no. Okay. And for the NIFT, a very fundamental requirement for any model that you make, number one, is that your base has to be very sturdy, and your model has to sit on the base very firmly, because they may lift the model with the base and they flip it down. All right. So if the model on top of it is not properly fastened and etc., so the model will fall off. Whatever you're creating, any embellishments that you're adding into the model has to be very sturdy and firmly fixed to the model. Ayushi is asking, how long is the NIFT situation test? Generally, it is for 3 hours. You can consider 2 hours is for the model making and half an hour is for your writing. Okay, maybe half an hour for whatever, for buffer zone and etc. You can consider it as about 3 hours. However, please observe your hall ticket. They have not yet opened for selecting the center, right, for you. Yeah. So when they open that up, they'll also give you the specific duration of the test and etc. Because they keep changing these details. But approximately it will not be more than 3 hours. All right. Fine. Now, uh, one of the very important thing, okay, I told you, first one is that a study base and a study model. Second is using all the materials. I hope somebody is noting down. Okay, I would want somebody to note down, and then we can have a list of all these points. All right. Now, use all the materials. Number three, neatness. The model has to be absolutely neat, clean, no joints seen. Any cutting that you do has to be very neatly cut, whether it is thermocol, whether it is cardboard, etc. So it has to be neatly cut. Okay. And yeah, neatness is point number 3. And number 4 is when they look at the model, it should be like, wow, it's amazing, amazing one. Amazing in terms of the detailings that you have given, or amazing in terms of the material that you have used, etc., etc. All right. Okay. Number 5, when you're creating the model, use the design principles. Okay, you're aware of the design principles? Okay, what are the, can you name some of the design principles? Two lights. Yeah. Can anybody name some of the design principles?
Balance.
Balance. Yes. There are two
Contrast.
kinds of, okay, there are two kinds of balances. Okay, what are those two kinds of balances, Ritika?
Like your weight distribution and how the visual elements
Visual
come.
elements. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. So Anahita is talking about closure. Yes, Anahita, closure. Can you explain more about closure?
It's almost like, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but suppose we take similar shapes and then we make it in such a form that it's like sort of they've aligned like very closely and then they point towards like a certain thing, or like bring more emphasis to a certain part of the sheet or
Right,
something like that.
right, right, right. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Mm, okay, cool. Okay, so we'll go through the principles of design. In fact, if you go through DQ Edge, under the sketching, design sketching, there are design principles. So let's go through the design principles and understand those as well and see how we implement. Okay, and you can also use color theory while choosing the colors of whatever color combinations that you're given to you. You can identify what colors they belong, and you can visually use the color theory to represent their positioning within your model. All right. Okay. So that's number 5. Design, using of design principles. Number 6, whatever you are writing has to be very, very legible. I've seen many students writing freehand. It's very difficult to read. So I suggest make it a practice to do all caps. Or unless, I mean, your handwriting is very good, then of course you can do it in that way. Like if your handwriting is shabby like mine, then use all caps, such that the faculty, when they're reading it, they understand what you're trying to do. These are the 5 things, 5 or 6 things. All right. Okay. Now you have been doing these models in the past as well, right? In the DQ classes, right? So every Sunday you have been doing them, right? So now I know that today's topic is given, one topic is given, but before we deep dive into the topic, I suggest that we go through your models and we identify your strengths and weaknesses and how you overcome your weaknesses, right? And with those inputs, you can start making the model for today, which is at, I mean, after our class, you can do that model, and tomorrow, let us have the feedback on that. Do you think this
Um,
is a good
can
proposition?
you, so can you please repeat what you said? My
Oh,
screen got hanged.
all right. Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute, hold on. Yeah. All right. So Ritika, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that, uh, yeah. So today, what we are going to do is whoever has switched on the videos, we'll be reviewing their work. Okay, you have been working on these 3D models before as well. So we'll go through your work, we'll identify your strengths, weaknesses, and we'll also explore how you can overcome your weaknesses. And then after our session, you can do your the NIFT past year paper as per the schedule, whichever is there. And uh, that model we will discuss and we'll give the feedback tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
All
So
right? Yeah.
whatever model we make today, are we supposed to get it to the offline class?
If you can bring it, nothing like it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. So that's great. So let's start with Manasvi, Rajesh. Okay, Manasvi, I would want you to open your Edge and go to your upload works, and then let us look into the material handling works, whatever material handling works you have done. Okay, and all of us as a group, let us analyze the work and let us help Manasvi to identify her strengths and weak areas and how we can help her to improve her weak areas. Oh, Manasvi, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, yes, Manasvi.
Yeah, I actually had a problem with my DQH. I was not able to upload any of my material handling work specifically.
Okay, do
Any
you
of the
have any?
sketch?
Okay, have you taken some photographs of your models?
Yes, sir, I have the
Can you
picture.
share it on your screen?
Yeah, if you could just
That
give
is
me a
fine. Yeah,
minute
yeah. So,
and
so
just.
meanwhile, we'll move to Ayushi.
So I have uploaded few of the models
Hmm.
because I have completed the basics like materials. After that, I did not make much models.
Okay.
Recent ones I have uploaded.
Whatever you have, maybe one model, two model, three models. So
Yeah.
whatever feedback you can get.
Should I share my screen?
Yes, yes, you can share your screen. I'll give the option. Yeah, you can share your screen. Okay. Seventh point that I would like to tell you guys is that if you want to have greater learning, the way it happens is that number one, you seek feedback, you get the feedback, and then you implement the feedback, which means that you redo the work. That is the way that you can improve your work. It's not about doing hundreds of models. Even if you do 10 models, if you seek the feedback, implement it, and redo it and show it back, show the improvement, that is where you gain tremendous uh, improvement in your skill, in your approaches, in your practice, and all of that. So please try to follow that method. All right. Okay. So yes. Okay. So what was the question?
Uh, just a minute, sir. So the question was make a 3D composition based on your understanding of in my dreams.
In my dreams. Okay.
I'll show
Fred.
my narrative first.
Yes. 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 Please.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay. The elements: rainbow, clock, heaven, or lever. What is that? Leaves
Leaves.
and human. The rainbow here represents the colorfulness of one's dreams. The clock has no hands, which represents that the time stops in one dreams and there is no hurry. The leaves represent growth that we someday want to achieve. The human here represents the peace and joyfulness and one experiences when dreaming. Okay, so let us understand. So dreaming can be of many types. Dreams. Okay, so if it is a nightmare, do we call it a dream or a nightmare, not a dream? What is the definition of a dream? So others can also participate. Please feel free to participate and add on. Okay, so what is the definition of a dream? I'm just checking Google the definition. A series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. That is one meaning. The other meaning is a cherished aspiration, ambition, or ideal. I fulfilled a childhood dream when I became champion. So I think in your case, you're going with both the meanings.
Yes, I think I went with the elements of dream, not particularly like what I have achieved, what I want to achieve. I went with the things like we experience when we are dreaming.
Right. So it's basically a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. Right. Okay. So just some thoughts. If you scroll down. Okay. So the human here represents the peace and joyfulness that one experiences when dreaming. Okay. So that is only one aspect of dreaming. A dream can be very scary as well, right? So you could probably embrace the entirety of the experience, not just the joyful or joyfulness or peace. That's number one. Okay. And number two is I like your representations of rainbow and clock. Rainbow has all colors. I mean, if you're thinking of fearfulness, then there's black, grace, moodiness, greed. All colors are there. So that's a very good representation. Okay. And clock is also pretty good because time freezes when you're dreaming. The dimension of time is lost. So that's a very nice input. Okay. However, the leaves, I think, a more relevant um element here is flowers than leaves, right? So the flowers are cheerful, they're beautiful, they spread the fragrance, right? So it is multidimensional. So you could have used the flowers to represent. Okay, so these 2 points in terms of uh, the elements that you have used. And if you scroll up, so uh, so what is missing in this explanation is that you are shown a person in a yoga pose holding um, a clock without the hands, right? Now, why only that way is what is missing in terms of explanation. So when that is not there, then it is open for interpretation. So we can think in any direction, right? So it is important that you explain your concept. Okay. And yeah, so would you like to explain your concept?
So I actually haven't given much thought on why in that position. Uh, I guess I made it this way because the yoga position and the way she's smiling, I wanted to show the peacefulness. That's why. And I wanted to show time, the clock as the main element because time freezes when we are dreaming. So I wanted to be on the center. So that's
Okay,
why.
okay, okay. All right. Okay. So I think that it can be even more exciting and more meaningful and more visually also quite attractive. All right. Now, I have some thoughts. I can explain that. But anybody else would like to add how this concept can be improvised? Does anybody else have some thoughts that they can share? No thoughts. All right. Okay. So let me see if the whiteboard works. Let me try a whiteboard. Stop screen sharing. Okay. Yes.
So should I stop screen sharing?
I think it automatically stops the screen sharing. Let us see. You can keep continue. It's loading. So I got one thought. Okay, all whiteboards. Mhm. Okay, with me. Okay, it's not loading. Okay, so let me try to share my screen. Okay, whiteboard is not working, so let me work on a Canva sheet. Okay, my presentation. Okay, so meanwhile, I highly recommend the students who are not switching on their videos to get ready to switch on their videos if they want feedback on their work. You can probably position your camera or get ready and come back.
So,
Yes, who is that?
me, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
I found a project a while back. I just wanted to.
yeah. So let me just complete the feedback
Yeah.
with Ayushi. All right.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So you all can see my screen. You're able to see my screen, right? Yes. No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So what I thought was so basically we're talking about dream. There are two kinds of dreams. All right. So you daydream, and also you dream at night when you're sleeping, right? So one thing what we can do is we can probably have a kind of a person. Okay, let us say, okay, I don't have a stylus. Please pardon my drawing here, but this is only for the concept, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to draw is like a person sleeping. So that's the head. Okay, and his body is like circled up with legs like this, right? And in the center you can have your timeless clock, right? And then along the probably periphery you can have these blossoms, the flowers. Okay, so you can probably have the flowers all across probably. All right. So the idea is that this guy is sleeping tight and happily, and he's embracing the dreams that he is experiencing. Right. So I mean, this kind of matches goes along with the concept of sleeping at night and dreaming. Right. So that is one, and Uh, other concept I was just thinking was, okay, so you can have some kind of a face with wide open eyes looking to the top, Okay, with a smile there, and then probably some kind of whatever your dreams, your clock, your various flowers, etc. also. So here we are talking about daydreaming. All right. Now, so this we have drawn in two dimensional, right? But you also have to explore and see if these can be done in 3 dimension. Okay, so what do I mean by 3 dimension? So just imagine this like a cup, right? So this can be done in 2 ways, right? So you basically draw shape of a cup on a flat sheet and you cut it, and then add whatever details are there here. That is like a 2D drawing kept upright, right? The other way is you can actually create a cup, right, with this kind of a eyes. And what you can also do is different. Let's say the cup has 4 different unique directional faces, right? So in one direction you can have this kind of a eye representation and expression. The other side of the cup you can have a fearful expression, and the other side you can have very pleasant experience. Uh, on one more side you can have a very crying experience, and whatever elements you are adding here can also be in 3rd dimension. You're understanding my point, Ayushi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in your model, what is happening is it is basically it's a 2-dimensional drawing which is kept upright, right? So you got to break that and see how you can create a 3-dimensional object. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And even in this case as well, we can make it very interesting. Like, for example, imagine this circle as a ball, right? And this person, like, I mean, a clay could have been a better material for exploring that, but let us say he's holding the ball and sleeping, right? So that way you can make it completely 3 dimensional, right? Okay. So that's how you could have improvised your model. And I would suggest to try it. Maybe one of these, or you come up with your own idea, but make it, because it is dreaming, so make it like a more holistic expression, whether it is daydreaming or night dreaming. Okay. And the elements as we have discussed. All right. Okay. So can we go showcase your model? I would like to see your model.
Yes,
How
sir.
the model is here. Hmm. Okay. I think the cutting of this cardboard could have been better, especially near the hands. Right. Um, okay, let me try to do the annotation. Annotation, show captions. Mm,
So I think also the the photo that I captured, this has been taken a little sideways.
mm, 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 mm,
That's why the cardboard is more visible.
mm, 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 mm. Okay, okay. In fact, you should make it a habit to take photographs from multiple directions. Okay. Okay. And what I also feel is that this clock, you can make it more mystical,
Yes, yeah,
right? And more colorful.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was the clock was the last thing that was left to make. So if
Mm,
I
mm,
wanted to
mm,
complete it within the time, hence it was a
mm,
quick and rough thing that I did.
mm. Okay, so this is very good attempt. Okay, but you can taking the inputs that I have given, you can try to rework on the model, and your
Yes.
model making skills are also pretty decent. All right. So let us see how you will do the next model. Okay. So can we go to the next work of yours?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
what is the
share the
question?
write-up for this. Just a
No,
minute.
no, that's fine. That's good. That's good because I can give you some feedback on that. Okay.
Uh,
So I kind of see a pattern. We need to break the pattern. The pattern is that you are having these layers kept one behind the other, and it is all like two-dimensional kept upright.
hmm.
Try to break out of that. Try to make completely three-dimensional. Okay. For example. Okay. So instead of keeping these, what are these? These are like a five or uh,
So they were supposed to show waves.
those waves. Okay. So waves, you have kept it linear to you.
Hmm.
You could have made them circular or cylindrical,
Yeah.
one behind the other,
Uh-huh.
different
Yeah.
heights.
That. Hmm.
Yeah. So it makes 3D. Okay. Till 9. All right. Even the globe. Is it the globe?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The globe could have also been done in this fashion. So what you have got is like one before the other, right? So you
Yeah.
could have done it like this at multiple angles,
Hmm.
such that it actually looks like a globe.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And see, the models are to be viewed from all the angles, not only from front.
Yes.
So I don't know what's happening behind. How much
Behind
detailing is
is
there?
covered with the same papers. The globe is from both the side. It looks like a globe. Just
Okay.
that from the top you can see the little bit of cardboard.
All right. Okay. So try to do a completely 3D model kind of, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one last one, and then we'll go to Manasvi. All right. Okay.
Sir,
Show me.
I actually 3D. I think this is the one I have made a 3D model.
Okay.
But
Look at that. Yeah.
what I have written on the I was so the concept was I think yeah, the theme was given power. So
Hmm.
I wanted to show education as a very strong power that people can
Hmm.
have. So I wanted to show the circular thing was supposed to represent a globe on top of the books.
Hmm.
So, and what is written around the globe is education is the most powerful weapon.
Hmm.
Now, to read that, you have to read it from not, you won't be able to read it from straight. You have to
No
move.
problem. This is fine. So what they do, they lift the model, they kind of move around and see.
Yes.
So that way it is fine.
Yeah.
All right. But it's just that when they lift the model, the pencil should not fall off.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. Right. But I like that idea of knowledge is power. What else is power? What else is powerful?
So there are a lot of things that are powerful.
Yeah. Come up with some options. Anybody else can think of any other?
So,
Confidence is power. Okay.
so when I hear the term knowledge is power, I always like remember this quote says that a pen is mightier than a sword. So I was just thinking, might as well we could have compared the
Hmm.
two kind in a way.
Yes, yes, that is good. In fact, when I saw this model, what came to my mind was pen is mightier. Yeah, yes. What else? What other words can you think of?
So if we think in a literal way, power also means strength. Physically, if we talk about.
Yes. Okay, so you can actually interpret in many ways. You can say good health is power. You can say love is power. You can say family is power. So it depends on how you interpret. Okay. So when you are kind of thinking what to interpret, how to interpret, you can also think of some unique ideas which does not come under many of the people's mind. So that way you can give good interpretation, good concept, something unique, and bring in the wow factor. Okay, you can also say being humble is power, humility is power,
Yes, sir.
like Gandhiji, non-violence. So um, uh, being vulnerable is also powerful, right? So accepting your mistakes is also powerful. So it can be done in a very interesting manner. All right, okay. Um, so I like the 3D model. It's pretty good, neat. Um, but the concept can be novel, is what I feel, conceptually. All right.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So any other thing that you would like to show, which you want to get some feedback on?
So another model that I made, actually, it did not turn out how I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show you the write-up.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minute.
Sir,
Yes.
so for the
Manasi.
previous model that she showed about education being, I think she could have also like worked something with the expression that pen is mightier than a sword or something like that, because it talks about education as a weapon, right? So I think like she could have worked with that as well.
Oh, yeah, that is also one direction. Yes.
Yeah.
So here she has tried to show the pen and the books to represent education.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. That's good. Okay, I can't read. I can't see. It's too small. Could you please
Yes,
read?
sir. So this is not a proper write-up. I have just written what I plan to make. So, the question was, I have to represent the four elements: fire, water, earth, in a
Oh,
3D composition. So
okay.
I wanted to make it 3D, but it did not turn out 3D. It was 2D only. So what I did is, God is in the center. The person which I have shown is supposed to be God, the creator, and the four, and on four hands, the four elements. That was the idea. But when I tried to make it, it did not turn out how should be.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yeah. So, what do you think? How you could have improved?
So, first of all, rather than making the person in between a 2D thing, I could have made it a 3D. Like maybe use a paper, crumble it to make a 3D effect. So I could make a 3D person. Then I did not actually know how should I put the hands. If I would have had clay, that would be a little easier also. Uh, but modeling clay is there in the materials given, but I did not have clay. So that would have been easy. And to show the ring around the person, I could have used a white paper and made it a little broader and away from the head. That then it would literally show like a ring.
Ah, yeah. Now it looks like Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Bandage. Yeah. I think the proportions have also gone wrong. See, your model, so your drawing shows the person to be quite good, but here it looks little odd, funny. right?
It
So
looks very funny. The hands are very larger compared to
larger
the.
compared to yeah, yeah. Your elements are good. Okay. So I would want you to either work on, experiment, or see if you can improve the human figure, making 3D models of human figures.
Mhm.
You focus on that. If it is not coming out good, try to avoid that.
Yes.
Okay. And another important tip is that, see, what effort that you have put in the past, they can't see it. How many skills that you have, what weakness you have or don't have, they have no clue. Your model is revealing all that information. So here is the tip. You have certain strengths. You have certain ways of doing certain things very, very nicely. Okay? Use them in your model. Doesn't matter what the topic is.
Yeah.
Use those techniques, those methods to convey that particular topic.
Yeah.
For example, let us say somebody is good in folding the paper. They do fantastic paper folding exercise and all. All right. So no matter what the topic is, if they're giving you paper, try to create that and bring that into your model.
Yes.
That way they will be amazed. Oh my God, see this girl, I mean, how beautiful this is. And he has also done whatever is required. In fact, they will not think that, okay, this girl knows only this, right? So that's the trick. Okay, so you play your strengths, showcase your best of your abilities in the exam in that 3 hours of time. Okay, so I would want you to work on that and see if you can improvise on the human figures. If not, then you can keep your model entirely to abstract.
Yeah.
In fact, what I would suggest is combine these three elements together in some kind of an abstract form which represents growth or life or something like that. Right? So that way it will be more powerful.
Okay, so.
Okay. All right. I think we'll go to uh, Manasvi. Okay. After Manasvi, who is there? Who would want to have your work reviewed? You can switch on your videos, whoever wants to have the work review. Okay. I'm so sorry, but it is important that we see each other and we have that kind of a connection. Okay. Just do it. That's a shoe there. What is the topic? You're on mute.
I'm sorry for that. So can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah, we were supposed to represent strength somehow.
Uh-huh.
And this is actually kind of like a group work that we did.
Okay.
So our basic idea was when we remember strength, for some reason we had the idea of an ant because an ant can carry 10 times its weight.
Hmm.
So the cubes over there are supposed to represent the sugar cubes that the ant carries. We were not able to like make the ant properly. But then again, we also remembered with an external force that can be a bit bigger than an ant as well, can also crush the stem or crush it and kill it. So therefore the shoe was.
So the shoe is not standing on its own. You have to hold it.
Yes, sir, we had to prop it up with a skewer.
Are you holding the background white sheet?
No, a friend of ours was holding it, so that we could take a picture of it.
Okay. So any model that you make has to be self-standing and sturdier. Otherwise, it would not work out.
Okay, I was actually thinking instead of using the skewer, we could have just like glued something, like we could have glued the shoe on top of the skewer because a thermocol would have been lighter.
Yeah, yeah. And what would happen if you flip the model?
So nothing would happen. It's
It will not
pretty,
fall off.
will not fall off. Sir.
Hmm. Okay, so first off, the idea that ant is very stronger because it can hold X times its own weight.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good concept. Okay, so that's nice. And the twist here is that somebody is stamping on the ant. That's a twist. I mean, should I take it in a positive way? Negative? It's like mixed emotion for me. How should I take it?
We were just holding it so that we could get at least like a clear because there's a lot of other stuff behind. We just wanted to make sure in the picture at least
No,
our
no,
heart.
that is fine. I'm thinking about the idea that a shoe can crush the ant.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking about that particular concept. How should I take that?
So we
Because
also had this other mindset, like we can
mm,
say the ant is a human being and the shoe can also be the like exterior world that we have because on our own we have our capabilities to do 100 times better than we can learn from ourselves, we can grow stronger, but they can with the tiniest of influence they can also hurt our it
beautiful,
can also hurt us.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that should come in the writing. Okay, so that interpretation is very strong. It's very beautiful. Yeah. So instead of actually showing Hercules holding a big kind of a ball, and on the top of the ball you write this strength, this interest, wealth, etc., etc., and somebody overstepping on top of it. I think this is a very good representation because you're showing a natural phenomenon, saying that okay, an ant can withhold X amount of its weight, and an external influence can crumble it. Right. So I like that idea. It's very nice. Um, okay, so I hope you have given that explanation as well.
Yes, so I have, but I cannot find the write-up. I took a picture of the write-up also, but I can't find it.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So can we go with any next idea or next model?
Yes, I was trying to find something. If you could just give me a second, I'll open up the other tab. I'll just like stop screen sharing and I'll screen share again.
Yeah, go on.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
So for me, this one's in a way a little bit close because someone told that you're supposed to represent something that makes you you and also supposed to make you similar to others. So another thing that I just remembered was the our heart. So I use air drying clay. I was not able to make a proper 3D model of it, so I ended up making a 2D version of it, and I
Mm,
just yeah.
mm,
So the only thing about our heart is that it helps us portray us as who we are, but that
mm.
also brings us together as human beings. So that's what I wanted to interpret with it because it is the way it is. It's just
But what is the topic for this thing?
uh something that makes us us.
Something that makes us us. So you have made heart, and this is a physical heart.
Yes, sir. It is a physical hack. I could have executed it better, but I don't know. I just did that. That is
Apart from the heart, do you think anything else we can represent to represent who we are?
sir, our thought processes,
Okay, thought processes and what
our
else?
opinions
Our opinions, a
over
brain.
certain topic,
Okay,
the way we express our emotions.
okay.
That's all I can honestly think of at the moment, sir.
Could
So
be our ideals, could be our aspirations,
Morals,
could be
aspirations.
our talent, our skills, right? Okay, yeah, Manisvi?
So I was saying values and traditions,
Yes,
culture.
values, traditions, culture. I think because see,
Sir, what
everybody
about
has a heart. Everybody
yeah?
has a physical heart. Everybody has a brain, physical brain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that would not differentiate us, right? I think what we are discussing, the values, uh, the aspirations, the talent, etc., etc. These kind of different or makes who we are, the beliefs that we have, right? Yeah, Manasvi.
Sir, I was thinking more of like artistic expression, like what based on how our art works or something, and that also makes us who we are.
Oh yes. So we are unique. Each one of us are unique, not in terms of body parts, but in terms of our thoughts and who we are. So I think the conceptually you'll have to be thinking more, okay, in depth, okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, an interesting observation, okay, so Nitya is saying an interesting observation here is that the two halves look like two people hugging. Expanding on that idea, we can talk about human emotions, and in the end, we all have to come together.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you are talking about two people hugging, so you can also create yin and yang kind of a model where we have these two colors and then represent yin and yang as two parts of the hearts. That way also we can do. That's a good thought, Nitya.
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So see, when you are making this model, there are two aspects. Okay, your concept has to be strong, and then you should be able to complete the model.
Yes, sir. I was
Okay, in the
not able to
least case,
complete the model and the
yeah,
concept.
yeah. So in the least case, even if a concept is not strong, the model has to be complete.
Yes, sir.
At least there is something for them to give marks,
Yes.
right? Yeah. But the model is fine. But however, you'll have to. I mean, you have to do it in three dimension, third dimension, and concept. So to have these concepts, okay, so what we have to do is we have to brainstorm a lot. And what we are doing currently is also part of the brainstorming. So whether you're showcasing your work or not, just by listening to other students' works and what kind of feedback we are having, conversations we are having, that itself kind of gives you tremendous ideas and concept database, right? So that you can use in the exam. So that way, these kind of discussions are very, very helpful. All right. Okay. One more, Manasvi, would you like to show?
So I was not able to find the
You
one
don't
you
not
asked.
able to find. All right. Okay. No problem.
But can I tell you what it was, sir?
Okay. Go on.
It was actually like a camera that I made, and the topic was memories.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. What did you do with the camera?
So with the camera, what I did was near the lens, I added kind of like a star,
Okay.
and in the side of where we see the pictures, we
Okay.
view
Okay.
it. I kind of made it like a tiny scenery where I remember standing on top of a like a hill where I went on a trek. So
Mhm.
I kind of like sketched it out on top of that, and I just wrote in my mind forever near it.
Hmm.
So with that depiction, I was able to say that like no matter what happens, is our memories are gonna be with us even with the even with the digitally advancing world.
Hmm.
Our memories can be something that will support us and make sure and ensure our happiness.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So camera is one way. What are the other ways of showcasing these memories?
Our memories, so
Yes.
mm, so our memories can be associated with a lot of different things. They can be as with the way I depicted also things we see with it can be with the things people hear, the things they can feel,
Yes.
and
Using
the
all
things
the sensory.
our sensory organs are
Yes,
really
organs, yeah.
important because they can trigger a certain sort of memory.
Absolutely, absolutely. So by showcasing camera, you have only shown the visual memory,
Yes, sir. My
but
main
it
aim
can
over
be
here was visual memory because
right.
again we have to portray something and show it in a 3D format. So I thought
Hmm.
the easiest way to portray that or show is through the visual
Okay,
memory
okay,
because
okay.
that's longer lasting for other people.
Need not be just for example. Let us say um, if it drizzles and you smell the sand
Yeah,
and
the
then it
wet
kind of
soil, yes.
wet soil and then it takes you to different places when you
Yes.
had similar kind of a feeling, right? So yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let us say visual aspect only. What are the various ways we can actually show these memories through visuals? Like camera is one of the visual object. What are the other ways we can show the same expression? I'm having some in my mind, so I'm waiting for you guys to come up with the answer.
So can a memory board be
Okay, go on, memory board. How you would like to showcase the memory board?
with all the achievements or something that you wish you can
Okay,
get and some memories that you have already achieved?
okay. But how? I mean, like a picture you're saying?
It won't be 3D. That would be
Hmm.
a issue.
So, can we
Hmm.
use tokens of the times that we have gone through as a memory? For
Yes.
example, for me in my school, we had this event called the Cornucopia,
Hmm.
and I have this like tiny bookmark they created for
Hmm.
us for all the participants.
Hmm.
So we can collect a piece of all those tokens and collect it.
Hmm. Yeah, that is one way. Okay. Any other ways? Anybody else can think of other ways of showing these visual memories? Okay, so one way I could think of is I'm not sure you may be alien for this concept, but once upon a time we used to have these reels. It's called
Yes,
negative, right?
yes,
Yes.
negatives, yes, sir.
So you can actually have like a long strip of this this kind of paper, long strip of paper on which you have different kinds of blocks. In each block, a different kind of a memory, and then you use this long reel
I
and you
really
kind
to
of
view it with
arrange
the
them.
projector.
No, it could be like just randomly you twill and twist them and keep it on a strong base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it becomes 3D from all directions,
Yes.
and it's like a continuous memories that are stored
Ah,
in
the
memory,
flow of memory.
the flow of memories. Yeah, that's one. The other is you can have the small cards cut into Instagram posts, okay, and those can be hung to a tree, and the entire tree can be made up of these memories, multi-directional, right? So the other way of doing it.
So can you create like a book where a few pages can be filled with maybe receipts or photographs which represent those memories?
Yes. So it's like a scrapbook. So
Yeah.
you have to go through the scrapbook. Yeah.
That's what, sir. I was actually thinking of a photo album. So like when
Hmm.
you open it, you can make like a model that's like an
Hmm.
open
Hmm.
photo album and like this 3D like circumstance, like situations of where you've been and you've created memories
Oh
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yes, yes, yes. So you mean to say a 3D album? Like a 3D album, you open it and something kind of pops up? Something like that? Yeah, that's also possible. I think Manasvi Gundam is frozen. Mm.
So can it also be like a puzzle kind, which you arrange to? It's like a fun way to recreate the memory. I mean, recollect the memories.
Recollect the memories? Yes, yes, it can be like a puzzle. Yeah.
Or
So when you,
uh,
hmm,
like in a day, like whatever you have done, you each picture, and then you can make it in that sequence in such a way that you like daytime you did this, afternoon you did this, something like that.
yes, yes. So that has basically gave me another thought process. Okay. Let us say you see kind of a cylinder which has small, small windows with shutters. You open a shutter and there's a memory there, and then you close it. You open another shutter, you have another memory there, right? So that way you can actually make the model interactive,
So
right?
there was this thing on like I saw this. I think most of if like I'm pretty sure most of you guys have Instagram or
Mm.
YouTube, of course. So there was this thing where they created this like tiny box,
Mm-hmm.
and within that they created like layers and layers of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
stuff. And when they open it, it opens up like a flower with pictures of all the
mm,
memories they've created.
mhm. Yes, so that is how the early cinema has started. They used to have these boxes, okay, so and a viewing window like a peeping hole, and then there are these frames kept behind a candle, and one guy will be like rotating those things, and these guys will be watching through the peeping hole, and they see some movie action happening, and yeah, that can also be done. Okay, so visually you can represent them in a more engaging way, such that the people can actually interact with the model, and it heightens the experience. That is number one. And secondly, when you're talking about memories, it is not just the visual, it's also sensory as well. Okay, so we spoke about the smell. It could be like maybe, uh, all right. So I'm not sure how many of you have traveled outside of your hometown for a long duration. Let us say if you're in South India, you went to North India, or maybe you went to a different country, right? So, especially when we're talking about the food, okay, let us say you have gone abroad for a long duration and you'll be really hankering. I'll be really hankering for idli vada dosa, right? That kind of, whenever I see them, I kind that just by looking at those items takes my memory to certain past times where I had gone to some place and had some bene dosa or something like that, exclusive food, exotic food, right? So yeah, I mean, if you can interpret that in various sensory perceptions triggering memory, that will be even better, stronger concept. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. Okay. Who would like to go next? Manasvi Gundam.
Yes, sir. I want to show some of my work.
Yes. 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 Anybody else? We still have got 1.5 hours. If nobody else, then we can start off with the model. Okay. Before doing that, let us go through that particular question: how past students have done, how it could have been done, okay, and let us ideate some ideas, and then you start your model. Okay, we don't want to create some mediocre model. All right, so we want to create something which is really awesome. So at this point of time we have the ability to see what other students have done in the past, so no problem. So we build on those ideas and we'll try to create something awesome. All right, let us do as a practice. All right, Manasvi, go ahead, please share your work.
Yes, sir. So this was actually something I did in the offline class.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so we had to depict freedom. So I was really stuck that day. Like I had no idea what to do. So like the teacher that day, she asked me to take more of a personal approach. So I thought like just then I'd finished my 10th grade and like I'd gotten into a different stream of like education. So like I said, in 10th grade we were forced to study some of the subjects that we're not really interested in. So like for me it was science. So I chose something completely opposite for that. So I chose commerce to my 12th grade and I wanted design for my career. So I kind of showed like all of the science and math related concepts in a cage and like a person flying out of the cage with like a calculator that like is supposed to represent commerce, and I also did a pencil for like design. So yeah, that's basically it. So we had to use newspaper, broomstick, bottle, cardboard, and all of that. So for cardboard, I used the base and the things that represent each subject. And I used wires for like the structure of wire and cardboard for like the person structure. And I used newspaper rolls for making the cage bar. And the broomstick thing, I kind of